Hi there, it's just a quick review of Samsung Galaxy S3 dongles. This one here was bought from eBest, and it was just marketed as an eBest dongle, but I have actually bought the original Samsung dongle before and it was identical to this, and this is actually my second dongle from eBest because I was so impressed with it. So I'll just explain a bit more about that. The original one I had from Samsung, supposedly, which I believe it was original, had Samsung written up here, had the same packaging, but the actual dongle would have Samsung written on it. This one looks identical, as I said. On the back is actually, you've got Samsung written down the bottom there in the text, and also further up. It also had some instructions which came basically with Samsung written on as well. This one though, however, as I said, it's from eBest, and the picture they have on Amazon is not as of this dongle, although this is the second one that arrived exactly the same as the first. Both do not have anything written on here, but they do have the MHL here, so in all respects it's actually a Samsung dongle. The reason I bought another one is the Samsung one I originally bought, like a lot of other reviewers were saying, would lose connection a lot, specifically the micro USB connector. And I found the same. If you put it down and watch the media, it tends to be okay. If you're lifting the phone around and playing some games, it's losing connection every 10 minutes. If you're lucky, every few minutes. Also, with all the weight here on an HDMI cable, but obviously holding the phone, created a lot of tension on here, and I got a connection issue there. So within 3 weeks I had to return the Samsung one, which, as I said, has just had the logo on the top here. That's the only difference, and on there. And I actually bought a Decrescent one because the other one was so awful I would never have gone back to it. So I explain why I've actually bought another dongle in similar respects, but from another company in a minute. What I then bought was a Decrescent one, and this is found on Amazon, Decrescent MHL. That's obviously the wires, as you can see, for the Galaxy S3. And that has a big long lead HDMI cable there already built in. You don't have to buy a separate one. And it has a USB port that goes, a USB connector that goes into your USB port on your Galaxy S3 charger. And the great thing about this is it has a very long cable with a micro USB port. It's a lot thinner as well than this one, which I'm not going to bother trying to show you, but it is. So that means when it's in here, first of all, it's an excellent connection. It still is. I've been using it for, 4 months now. Rarely ever loses a connection. It's usually because it's not put in properly. It's not a problem with the actual item itself. As it's slimmer, it means you can hold the phone when you're gaming and you don't get cramped like I would with this one. That was before I'd bought a case. I've got here, if anyone's interested, it's a Great Shield, what was it actually called? Great Shield case, basically, on Amazon. You can probably see it's a rugged one. That's what it was. It has a plastic inlay cover and also silicone on the outside. I actually don't have the plastic cover inside because I find it's not as protective, and this is an S-line cover, gel cover case inside, and then this one just fits over, and actually all the buttons work, so that's a very good way of protecting the screen. It's obviously easily comes off as well. So I tend to have a case on actually this inside case when I'm gaming, and that's usually with this for games like, for instance, Modern Combat 4. The reason I use this one and actually bought this one is because games like on multiplayer, playing on the TV like Modern Combat 4, there can be moments of lag, and from researching a bit I found out you can get a HDMI cable. Version 1.3 is what I've used. I think 1.4 would also work because my cable actually does. So it supports Ethernet as well on the cable, but it was actually marketed as a 1.3 cable. And I found basically when I obviously plug it in here, this is a much better connection than the original, similar to the Decrescent. If I'm playing games like Modern Combat 4 with the Decrescent, there was moments of lag. Not on any of the games. I would recommend this completely. I use it for like 99% of all my other games because this is definitely a very recommended cable. But a lot of my gaming is actually multiplayer on Modern Combat 4. So I thought I'd chance it and get one of these. And as mentioned earlier, I actually bought two because the first one was so good and still working, perfectly. So it does actually cut down with, if you've got a good HDMI cable, it will cut down on the lag if you're playing intensive games like what I've just mentioned. And what I tend to do, obviously I don't want to put any more stress on here and create connection issues there, so I just have something, something like a slippery surface, then the HDMI cable coming out, and obviously plugged into the phone while I'm then gaming. So just something where you can just slide around and basically not put any stress on the cable is my way around that. But anyone who's properly interested in gaming on a TV, I can definitely recommend this one for that faster transfer of data for the gaming onto the TV, because it will become infuriating if you're obviously losing games just through lag. But 99% of the time, as I said, this cable does not in any way cause any lag. It's just on very, very intensive multiplayer games. So hopefully that will be of use to somebody out there. Any questions, just let me know.